Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I thought I'd share a little kind of what I eat in the day kind of video. And excuse my voice if I sound off. I have some kind of little cold or something. I'm fine, but just waiting for it to go away. So on this morning we had some leftover Mexican rice. From the night before we had made some queso chicken. And I don't think I even got a video of that, but it's so good. So we also had some chicken that Adam seasoned with, I think, fajita seasoning. And we grilled that up and served it with the rice with some queso over top, and it was so delicious. One of my favorite things. But anyway, I'm having a late breakfast. It's pretty much lunch, so I'm gonna make a rice and chicken brunch. So I just heated my Mexican rice up in a skillet with some butter just to warm it up. I chopped up some of the grilled chicken and threw that in there to warm up, and then I'm just gonna fry an egg to put on top. And this turned out so good. And to go with this, I'm putting some of this Taco Bell avocado ranch on my plate for dipping. If you haven't tried this stuff, it's super good. We bought it a while back for nachos or something, and it was amazing. Like, I know they serve it on Taco Bell stuff, but the last thing I ever had at Taco Bell was just a regular taco, so it doesn't come with that. So I didn't even know what it tasted like. Super good. Definitely recommend. So I'm a little behind in videos, so this isn't even up to date. I just wanted to share a little garden update with you guys. I'm showing you these baby pumpkins, and now they're like the size of a cantaloupe. So I'm super excited about that. All of our flowers are doing good. These corn plants I'm showing you are so tall, and now I actually have 4 cobs of popcorn growing. The cucumbers are getting huge. The tomatoes are doing pretty well. So I'm so excited to see what we get from the garden this year. I always leave the boys' birthday decorations up for about a week, just because they love them, and I worked so hard putting them up, and Adam did too, so we leave them up for about a week, and it was time to take them down. So for my lunch on this day, I wanted to make this Asian-inspired cucumber salad I found from the Happy Place. I don't know why it printed this big and weird. I don't know. Ignore it. It's weird. But I had some cucumbers that I bought in our last grocery haul, and the recipe calls for scallions, but I forgot to get some. So my grandma, when she used to make cucumber salad that wasn't an Asian version, she always added onion. So I'm just gonna use onion instead. I have some ground ginger, some salt and rice vinegar, soy sauce, sesame oil, some sesame seeds. It calls for toasted, but this is what I had and I didn't feel like toasting them. And then the recipe calls for chili sauce and minced garlic, but I have this chili garlic sauce, so I figured that's perfect. I'll just replace those two with one thing. And I also have some sugar. So I'm just gonna get my cucumbers and onions sliced up, and what I didn't show, because I forgot to do it on the first one, I ended up putting that cucumber in the boys' lunch. But the recipe says to kind of score the sides of the cucumber with a fork, like scrape it down the sides so that all of the dressing will stick. And so I ended up doing that with the rest of them, and it worked pretty well. Once I got everything sliced up, the recipe says to salt the cucumbers and let them sit for a minute while you deal with everything else. That way it'll draw out some of the moisture. Mine didn't really draw out that much. I don't know if it's the kind of cucumbers I used or whatever, but definitely don't skip that step if you don't want them to be watery. So I thought my camera was recording when I added all of these ingredients for the sauce. It wasn't, of course. But the recipe is down below. This was super simple. I didn't measure for mine because I didn't use as many cucumbers because it's just for me. So I just kind of eyeballed it and added in what I think would work, and it turned out delicious. So I just mixed my cucumbers and onions up with that sauce and covered it up in a container in the fridge. And I left it in there for about an hour, and like every 10 minutes or so I'd go in there and shake it up because I had it in a weird container. But this was delicious, guys. Like, I could eat this every day probably. It was really, really good. So if you are looking for a new cucumber salad recipe, definitely give this one a try. So before we go on to dinner, I thought I would share this storage cabinet with you guys that was sent to me. They're not paying me to make this video, but we did get it for free. So this is the 71-inch metal storage cabinet. So this has 2 magnetic doors that lock and 4 adjustable shelves. And it says each shelf can hold 200 pounds capacity. And it comes with 3 keys, so this would be great for your office, your garage, or anywhere you could think to use it. We plan on using it for some of Adam's tools because we just have an overflow and they need a home. So we're gonna get this thing unboxed and put it together and tell you what we think. So this came with a little bag of all the parts you need to put it together, but it also came with some gloves, I guess so you don't cut your hands, and a double-sided screwdriver. So that was pretty cool. And honestly, taking this out of the box, we thought it was gonna be super flimsy, because the panels by themselves don't seem that strong. But once we got it put together, this thing is pretty sturdy. Ours did get a little bit damaged in shipping, but not bad enough where I wanted to send it back and get a new one and cause all the trouble and all of that. So we're just going to be using this for storing tools. It's got like one little bend in the door where you kind of have to shove it to lock it. But that's not the company's fault. That was our FedEx guy. So anyway, once you get this all put together, it's a really nice cabinet. So of course Adam did all the work on this one, so I can't tell you exactly how easy it was, but I can tell you from watching him that this is one of the things he got less angry at putting together. You know what I mean? Some things are just so like, you're trying to put it together and it just makes you angry, but no, this seemed like it wasn't that hard at all, besides the pieces were big and we're trying to put it together in our living room. I helped where I could, but it's kind of a one-man job. But Angus decided he wanted to try to help too. But yeah, anyway, the pieces fit together nice. The instructions were clear and all of that, so it's not like one of those IKEA type things where you have to put together a puzzle just to put it together. You know what I mean? So once we got this all put together, we put the shelf hooks in and started putting in the shelves. And of course you can put these wherever you want. Adam had a plan for where he wanted stuff to go, because we have another cabinet that other stuff used to be in. So we just kind of arranged ours in a way that may look weird, but it works perfectly for the stuff we wanted to put in it. So like I said, we're using this for Adam's tools, and everything he wanted to put in here fit perfectly, and we even have some extra room, which will probably bring in some stuff off the porch that needs a home. But you could use this for just about anything you want. We almost used it for a pantry because I'm tired of my china cabinet, but Adam really wanted to use it for his stuff and I wanted to get the laundry room and the porch cleaned up, so that's what we decided to do. But yeah, everything fit in super nicely. It's sturdy, the shelves are sturdy, I don't think anything's going anywhere. Oh, and also there are holes in the back top corner, if you can see them, to bolt it to the wall so that it won't fall on anybody or any of that. So that's a super important feature. So if you guys have been looking for a storage cabinet for your garage or your shed or wherever, I'll have all the information, links, whatever I have down in the description box below if you want to go check it out. And let's get on to dinner and the rest of the video. So tonight we're making some Alfredo. I have some linguine noodles we're going to boil, and we're going to make the sauce in just a minute. But first we're going to cut up our sausage. We're using this cheddar smoked sausage from H-E-B. And instead of like rounds, I just cut this into bite-sized pieces because it's easier to get some with all of your pasta when you get a bite. And we used, I think, 3/4 of this package. Of course, that depends on how big your family is. Broccoli is delicious with Alfredo, so we also steamed some broccoli with some salt and pepper and garlic powder. We had this Aldi pizza dough in the fridge that we needed to use, like the date was this day, so we had to use it. So we're gonna roll this out and we're gonna make some cheesy bread. We're going to get this on our greased pizza pan and top it off with some mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. And before we added the cheese, we also added on some garlic butter. This turned out delicious. So good. Definitely give it a try. We just baked this according to the dough directions on the package while we got started on our sauce and our noodles. So I just melted some butter in my skillet and added our sausage in, and I just want to get this browned up on all sides. It is already fully cooked. And then I added just some salt, garlic, and onion powder. Got that all browned up and removed it to a plate to get started on our sauce. I added some butter to the skillet that I left the sausage drippings in. And to that, I'm just adding some salt and pepper, some onion and garlic powder, and a tiny bit of nutmeg. I ended up putting a little bit too much, and I should have taken some out, but This still turned out delicious. So I'm just going to let that cook for a few minutes to get all the flavors in, and then we'll add in some heavy cream. I didn't measure this, I just kept pouring until I thought it looked like a good amount for the amount of pasta we were making. How saucy we like things. But this is going to thicken up a little bit, so I didn't want to not add enough and then have a gloopy sauce, because that's never good. So add the amount you think you want and just let it simmer for a minute. I just let this simmer as long as the pasta was cooking, and it turned out perfect. We also ended up adding some Cajun seasoning, and I guess I didn't get a clip of it. We added in some lemon pepper. That makes it really good. And then we're just going to add back in our sausage, and dinner is done. This cheesy bread bubbled up in the oven, but look at it. It was so good. Dinner turned out so good. I'm not a huge pasta person, or it kind of depends on what it is, but you can never go wrong with some Alfredo, and with the sausage, it's so delicious. We had our broccoli on the side, topped our pasta off with some extra Parmesan cheese, and we had our cheesy bread, which the boys devoured. And this dinner was delicious. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and spending the day with us. I'm going to get back to some more regular videos soon. I have a what's for dinner coming up and more things like that, so hopefully I'll get them done soon. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.